Thanks for checking out my micro drawings channel. Today I'm drawing Tintin, and actually he was new to me. He was suggested by a couple watchers, subscribers, I hope. So I'm getting started with his nose, and then from there I'll build the rest of him. I always start with a facial feature because if you goof that up, that's pretty hard to recover from. So if I would have drawn the rest of him and then drew his nose and made it a triangle instead of what it is, it looks more like kind of a cut off 1/3 of a hot dog kind of a look. So, and I started with that and then got his eyes in there, drew his forehead and his rounded chin, and then his quiff hairdo. That was another learning thing. I learned about Tintin, and I also learned about his quiff hairdo. So I'm expanding my vocabulary. So, and then I am using my Copic multi-liner 0.03 for drawing this in, just kind of lightly sketching in here. And that was his arm going down. He's putting on like a longer coat, overcoat, and he's throwing that on as he's rushing off to somewhere. This is his little hand, his fingers. Those fingers are pretty tiny, and I do the best I can to give the detail there. And there's his upper arm, and like I said, he's kind of pulling that overcoat onto him. And again, using that Copic multi-liner 0.03. Later on, I will use my Copic sketch markers to color him in. And I'll have a quarter for scale here in a little while. And at the end, I'll have a pencil for scale too. If you haven't, please subscribe and share with others. I'd appreciate it. And keep putting those comments below. Like in this case, I'm drawing something I didn't even know about a week ago or so. And so as I'm drawing, look at the lines or draw the lines I'm seeing. And right away I'm seeing that outline of his face. And then I'm seeing the outline of his arm that's nearest us that's drawn on there. And then his pants, the outline of his pants, the width of his pants. And I'm looking at a reference picture for this. Like I said, I didn't even know who he was before. So, of course, I need to look at a reference photo in order to draw him. And if I'm doing other drawings, I do a lot of wildlife art and paintings. After you've drawn a turkey or a fish for enough times and years, you can pretty much draw them without having to look at a reference. And I'm getting that way with more of the cartoon or comic characters I draw. But you still need to make them look right. So I still do tend to look at reference photos to make sure I'm getting the correct look and proportions. So that big wing going up there is his right arm. Again, getting kind of sneaked into the sleeve of the coat as he's running out the door. And I'm just working along. I'm not putting all the detail lines on because I will add some of those later after I've added the color. And the Copic sketch markers are alcohol based, so they can blend together. It's a Canson XL Smooth 100-weight paper that I use with not a lot of tooth, so there's not a lot of bleeding. But still, if I've got a lot of black ink, like if I was to put a lot of detail lines and then tried to color with the marker on top of it, and there's actually a little teeny puddle of ink, it's still going to have a little smearing that way. So that's why I add the details at the end. And what I'm showing you here is, usually it's behind the scenes a bit more, but that was just to show you that I go through testing out the colors. And I've got, different palettes, I guess you'd call them, that I'm used to. Like for Calvin and Hobbes, I know I'm going to use the cadmium yellow, the chrome orange, the vermilion, the cotton pearl. But with Tintin here, there's a new palette to create. So I had to test out those colors on that piece of scratch paper to make sure I was happy with that. So here as I'm coloring in, I'll show you each of the colors, the caps. So if you do want to use your Copic sketch markers to replicate or draw Tintin yourself, you can pause the video and see what I was using. and I'll just let you watch for a while here. Thanks again for visiting the channel. I'll join again at the end. So here's a quarter for scale again, and now I'll use that Copic multi-liner to add some of the additional detail lines. And then I'll put on today's date, June 26th of 2021, and sign my initials. Again, I waited to the end so I wouldn't have any smudging or smearing when I was using the sketch markers. And hope you have a great day.